Hi everyone, Alex Wilson again from Mindful Recovery Services and the Central Coast DBT Centre, here for your DBT download today. So, I want to talk about ambivalence. Okay, so ambivalence being kind of stuck in two minds. For example, I want change and I don't want change, or I want change and I reject change, or I want help and I reject help. Um, I want to stop this behavior, but I don't want to stop this behavior. I want to get better or I don't want to get better. So, ambivalence is when we're, stuck in sort of between these two opposing views within ourselves. And it's a very, very normal part of being human. And it's incredibly normal when we are struggling with something and maybe we've been trying to change it and we're just not changing it. And it's because we have this very valid internal struggle. So the way that often shows up in my work is that clients will come in and part of them wants to create change and a little part of them doesn't. Because if 100% of them wanted to create change, they would have just done it. They wouldn't need my help with that, right? But there's something that's keeping them stuck in those old patterns, right? And so we don't shame ambivalence, we identify it in DBT. We say, hey, you're sort of in two minds about this, and some days it's more this one, and some days it's more this one. And that's really normal, particularly when we're looking at maybe letting go of unhealthy behaviors. Those behaviors serve a purpose, though, right? So, for example, substance abuse, which is a really common problem behavior. There is an upside to using substances, which is emotional numbing, triggers pleasant emotions, social acceptability. I mean, lots and lots of things, right? Um, and then there's downsides as well. And so when people are in two minds, that's exactly why they're struggling. Otherwise, they would just stop using substances, right? So this struggle, when we shine light on it, and in DBT, we use a skill called pros and cons. And it's not your normal pros and cons. We actually do it a couple of different ways. So let's say substance abuse, for example. I'd do pros and cons of using this substance. Let's say it's alcohol. Pros and cons of drinking. What's the upside to drinking? What's the downside to drinking? And then in DBT, we always flip it around. What are the pros and cons of not drinking? Let's say I just stopped. What would be good about that? What would be not so good about that? We're not trying to see which list is longer to make a decision. We're identifying a trade-off. So, what am I getting from this behavior and what am I giving up? And if I change this behavior, what am I getting and what am I giving up? There's always a trade-off. And does that feel worth it to me? So we always want to have a look at what the give and take is there. And that can help us move into action and out of ambivalence. But the idea that you have to be 100% motivated to create change is a total myth. Nobody is 100% motivated for change all the time. And that doesn't mean you shouldn't come to therapy. So if you are feeling stuck, or if you know someone who's feeling stuck, or if you're working with someone who's feeling stuck, consider reaching out. And DBT is a great model for dealing with that stuckness. Okay, I'll catch you next time. Bye.